All right, y'all, come on in here. Come on in. Come on in, y'all. I am about to talk on two touchy subjects today. One being pro-life, and the other one you guys are going to find out. I kind of wanted to just kind of sit back and let the investigators investigate. But it overall is a very sad situation. Okay. With that being said, y'all know me. I'm pro-life all day. And my thing is this. I'm not really understanding why people who believe in unborn babies having a chance at life, why this is even a topic, why this is even something that's been looked at wrong, why is this even a situation? I don't get it. Help me understand why it is so hard for people who actually believe in giving life a chance, like you all got a chance at life. Okay. There are people who actually love children, love kids, love life. And there is nothing wrong with it. Again, it just pisses me off because this is even a subject that we're even talking about. Regardless of the situation, life is always going to be first in my book. But guess what? She effed around and find out quick because I'm about to show y'all why. So let's go ahead and get it. This happened a few days. That actually took place not too long ago. It says straight from Barry American, pro-life activist punched for her views on abortion by a deranged Democrat. Let's get into it, y'all.
So you went from saying that my outfit was really cute to saying I'm an effing idiot. That's so mean.
But I think that your point of view is very obstructed, and I think that you just don't understand the magnitude of having a child.
Yeah, well, I'm not the one who admitted they would be okay with killing babies in foster care and killing children that have been abused.
That's not the point. What I'm saying.
That's really.
You have a channel?
Yeah, we're doing some interviews today.
I love your skin tone too.
Thank you. Such a good vibe.
Of course.
Well, awesome. So we're asking people's opinion today on Planned Parenthood. Are you familiar with them?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know what they provide?
Yes. Abortions.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Safe abortions.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you know any other services that they provide?
I know, like, to teens, if you're under 18, you could get like birth control, condoms, counseling. They offer a lot of, beneficial things that the youth really should use right now.
Okay. So you have a pretty positive view of Planned Parenthood.
I mean, majority. I don't know. Is this like a yes or no? Am I wrong?
It's your opinion.
But that is definitely my opinion. I feel like, especially as teens, people get caught up in things that they really don't want to commit to for their entire lives. So,
Yeah.
if you get caught up with the wrong guy, you think you're in love, and then, boop, now you stuck. Not stuck, but you're stuck with a baby for the rest of this time, literally the rest of their lives and your life, if you're that kind of mother, because some women just don't have it in them and they abandon them and abuse them and all kind of shit. And it's like, girl, just get rid of it if you know you're gonna do that.
Get rid of them. Why not just give them to another family? That's good.
No, but exactly, even that, and that's another option that Planned Parenthood offers. So it's like, if you know that you are not the being who can provide for this child, then there are alternative options out there for you. So I definitely understand why people do abort children. Don't have babies that you don't want. Don't have babies that men are telling you in front of your face that they do not want. I wish them would stop doing that. Like, it's like a plan to.
Why don't they just stop having sex with people they don't want to have a child with?
That too. To me, it's always pro-choice, your body, your life, because that baby is gonna be a baby.
It's a baby.
Yeah, and you're gonna have that baby
person.
forever. So yeah.
Well, do you know that Planned Parenthood gets nearly $700 million of our taxpayer money every year?
$700 million. I mean, honestly, I can't go against Planned Parenthood. I just can't. $700 million for how many single mothers?
Of our money. But they're not giving it to single mothers, though. Yeah.
I mean, if we're gonna just, single out where it is that our tax dollars go, then the police, respectfully.
So it's really interesting because since 2010, prenatal care has been down for 80% since 2010 at Planned Parenthood. Adoption referrals. So this is why this is research straight from their yearly report of 2022 to 2023, I believe it is. And so they're a 501c3. They have to tell us what they do every single year. So this is straight.
Which should be any union corporation. If we are paying tax dollars towards you, I need to know that you are doing the job and doing it correctly.
Right. But let me continue to tell you. So the STI testing and treatment down 15% since 2019. Client numbers down overall 34% since 2006.
Nobody has insurance. I don't have insurance.
Donors down 21%. Contraceptives down 44%. Breast screenings, manual breast exams down over 80%. And you mentioned adoption. They commit 228 abortions for every one adoption referral. So why are they getting so much more money yet all of their services are going down?
The services are going down because people are afraid. Women.
What are they afraid of?
Women don't know. They don't know what they're exposing their bodies to. A lot of people, especially behind abortion, there's a stigma.
But their abortions are going up. So they used to have this slogan where they said safe, legal, and rare. That's what we want. Safe, legal, and rare abortions, until it was exposed that a lot of these facilities were requiring abortion quotas. So the more abortions each facility did, the more praise that they would get awards. And so it's really interesting. That doesn't really make it seem like they want safe, legal, and rare abortions.
How many people can you think, or are you going to assume, would literally abandon their children with no repercussions from the state?
No, it's called safe haven baby boxes. We're at a fire station or hospital. You can leave your baby and the mother doesn't have to do anything with it. But that's better than killing her baby through abortion, right?
No, ma'am.
It's not better to give your baby up to a family who wants them instead of killing them?
No, ma'am. I have seen so many stories and countless, literally countless stories.
What happens in an abortion?
They literally suck the life out of you. They're going to take the whole baby out. And as they should, because I shouldn't be a taxpayer paying child support and food stamps and WIC for women.
You should be a taxpayer paying for abortions?
Exactly. But as for a woman who didn't want the baby in the first place, that doesn't make sense to me. Don't ever sit here and lock yourself down with a man who already told you he doesn't want to be with you.
I agree with you.
I'm not disagreeing with you either. I understand.
You don't get to kill the baby just because their dad didn't want.
So she wasn't even listening to her. She said she agreed with her on that statement, but she's so riled up into her feelings that she didn't even hear the reporter actually say, "I agree with you on that." Here we go.
You can.
Should we kill the kids in foster care?
Why not? Why not? If that's the case,
we should kill the kids.
And this is what she's checking her on. As you can see later on in the clip, she just said, "Yeah, why not?" The reporter brought this same information up, and that triggered her and got her upset. But this is how she's catching her in her own issue. We just seen her say, "Yeah, why not?" You get what I'm saying? Check it out.
In foster care that aren't wanted.
Who's going to take care of them? I need to know the percentage of people who take children from foster care and abuse them and molest them, who make them like personal slaves.
We should just kill them.
Statistics before you come to me talking about pro-life.
We should kill the victims of molestation.
I think, what does this have to do with molestation?
You just mentioned people molesting children. We should kill the kids in foster care is what you said.
What I'm saying is in general, overall. If I don't want to have a baby, I should have the choice to.
Just don't have sex then. Just don't have sex.
That's not even logical.
It is.
It is. Who are you, Nancy?
I sound dumb. You sound dumb as okay.
It does, because even as teens, people explore. And it's like, as funny as you want to be, people should still have the choice.
So you went from saying that my outfit was really cute to saying I'm an effing idiot. That's so mean.
But I think that your point of view is very obstructed, and I think that you just don't understand the magnitude of having a child.
Yeah, well, I'm not the one who admitted they would be okay with killing babies in foster care and killing children that have been abused.
That's not the point. What I'm saying.
That's really.
Stop What's wrong with you?
Crazy.
You have a
just like the lip card.
Oh my God.
Yep. Look at her. Okay.
She attacked my wife.
Your wife just attacked me.
Why
Why you still following me? Why you following me?
want to get arrested? Look. Don't worry.
She just punched me in the face. We were just doing a street interview with my camera and everything was fine for over 20 minutes or however long we were filming, and then she just punched me in the face. Oh my God.
Now, fast forward, y'all. And that's the crazy part, because they were having a conversation. It was some things that she was saying that I actually agreed with too. But then it goes left quick. What a libtard. What a libtard. Oh, but here it goes, y'all. Breaking. Coming straight from Lips to TikTok on X, y'all. You see it right there? So guess what? Breaking. Breonna Rivers, the woman who assaulted a pro-life activist, was just arrested. She faces 1 count of second-degree assault. This is what this bimbo gets. And that's what they do. They get upset. Like, she was literally, that would have been a all right, literally, interview. She got in her feelings. They were both stating their opinions. We clearly seen a reporter re-asking these questions. It's crazy. I'm pro-life all day. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care how you feel about it. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. That's my opinion. I know the consequences. And that's just me. That's all I have to say on it. I'm pro-life all day. I scream it all day. And I'm saying we have the right to be pro-life. Just as well as y'all out here saying, I don't want, anti-life and all this other type of stuff. I don't believe. I have every right to say I'm a pro-lifer and I believe in pro-life all day, every day. Don't argue with me. Go argue with yourself. Anywho, y'all, we finna keep it moving. Now, for those who don't know, a situation happened on April 2nd between Austin was a guy named Austin. They was at a track meet. Dude named Karmelo Anthony was under the wrong tent. An altercation happened, and one of the twin brothers, which is named Austin, was stabbed in the heart and pretty much died in his twin's arms. Now, regardless of the situation, y'all, this is a very sad situation. I'm not looking at no color, because y'all know one thing about this entire situation is a race card. Black, white, white, black. How I'm looking at it is two young, very young individuals. Parents will be going to go visit one at the grave for the rest of their life, and the other one could potentially be doing jail time. The crazy thing about it is, and this is why I said I didn't want to touch on it and stuff like that, was kind of letting the investors investigate. The crazy thing about this entire situation is you have the internet investigators. People that's investing into it. You got these people saying this, you got these people saying that. And so quickly a case can become tainted with all these opinions and things like that. That's why you have certain people that does certain things in life. And that's why I said let the investigators investigate, because there's so much stuff happening. There's so much stuff coming from both sides. I've been hearing stories as if an altercation happened between the young man and the twin brothers way before this situation happened. That's why he brought a knife to the track meet. Then I'm hearing they don't even know each other at all. It's just so much this say, that say, that say. And a situation is a young guy was stabbed in the heart and the other person pretty much lost their life. Okay. They were saying that the victim, well, not the victim, but Anthony Carmelo Anthony's family did like a GoFundMe, and they raised money because allegedly he's saying self-defense. Okay. Again, let the investigators do the investigating, y'all. It's also being said that Anthony's family has pretty much been having threats and things upon their life due to their son's action. Okay. Meanwhile, you have another family who is grieving that cannot get their child back. There were witnesses there who actually witnessed what happened and what went on. And of course, they're still investigating. They still getting these stories and stuff like that. That's what I got to say. You kind of got to sit back and you have to just let the things unfold, because within time, the truth will prevail. With that being said, y'all, I'm finna get into Kaizen, because what better way for him to break it down? And then we're gonna watch another clip of Judge Joe Brown, just giving his insight on this actual story. Like I said, I got a son that's almost around their age, and it's just a sad situation on both sides, because one's gone for the rest of their life, the other one potentially lost his life for the rest of his life. And it's just a sad situation because they are young. And as parents, you know what I'm saying, we do all that we can do to raise our kids the best way that we can. And we say, okay, we finna, let them go wander out in this world. You know what I'm saying? And I know me, every day I'm praying for my children, because like, the situation is a sad situation. Nobody knew waking up that morning that something like this was going to, happen. And this is why, as parents, like, pray for your kids. Know that you've done everything in your will that you have done, to know that you taught them right, to make the right decisions. And a lot of the times, and a lot of people were saying, because I think I was having this talk with one of my coworkers, and they were saying the problem is now we got kids raising kids. We got parents wanting to be their kids' friends and not an actual parent. Like, it's a lot of things that have taken place in this generation. So with that being said, y'all, let's dive into the video, and then we're going to see what Judge Joe Brown's perspective is on this entire case. Let's get into it.
To the black people who are saying that when Carmelo Anthony killed Austin Metcalf, Austin got what he deserved, what are we doing?
Rosa Parks days is over. You cannot think that you can move somebody out of a seat that you don't own and think that it's going to be okay. And you can't determine how I'm going to retaliate on you when you put your hands on me in an aggressive manner. Austin Metcalf got exactly what he deserved.
But white people, obviously not all of you, so let me just get that out the way, but a bunch of y'all are just a bunch of racist, bigoted crisis actors.
People really believe that kid had the right to tell Karmelo to move. If that kid would have just minded his own business, would he or would he not still be alive?
Okay, would you say the same thing if that was a white kid who killed a black kid? There are fake reports going around on the internet about what happened. So here's what actually happened according to the official police report. Carmelo and Austin were at a high school track meet. Carmelo was in the wrong tent. He was from Centennial High School, but was in the tent for Memorial High School. Austin told Carmelo that he was in the wrong tent and needed to move. Carmelo told Austin, "Touch me and see what happens," while putting his hand in his bag. Then Austin either touched or pushed Carmelo. Carmelo then said, "Punch me and see what happens." So Austin then grabbed Carmelo. Carmelo then pulled a knife out of his bag, stabbed Austin in the chest, and ran away. Austin died. When the police found him, Carmelo admitted that he did it, but asked if he could claim self-defense. Now look, Austin made mistakes. He shouldn't have touched Carmelo. He shouldn't have grabbed Carmelo. And he didn't deserve to die for it. It's tragic that neither of these young men had learned better conflict resolution skills. And let's be honest, on the scale of physical aggression, Austin was a 3. Carmelo was a tent. Karmelo went to a track meet with a knife. Karmelo went to the wrong tent with a knife. Karmelo chose to stay in that tent after being asked to leave. Karmelo chose to use a weapon on an unarmed human. This shouldn't be complicated. It also shouldn't be racial, but it's getting treated that way. I see black people leaping to the defense of Karmelo with their words and their dollars. I see the killer's family raising as much money as the family of a kid who was killed. People donating to Karmelo, would you do the same if he killed another black kid? What if a white kid had killed a black kid? Would you donate to the white kid then? If we didn't know the races of the people involved, what would you do? Are there ways that black people have been treated unfairly? Of course. And now, we're letting tribalism get in the way of truth. Being black shouldn't mean getting held to a different standard, for better or for worse. We can't keep doing this thing where black people are always 100% victims and 0% responsible. We can't fight yesterday's injustice with today's double standard. That hurts everyone, including black people. Because if you look for reasons to apply a double standard, others will look for reasons to apply a double standard to you. Karmelo killed a kid. He turned a disagreement into a death. He took it from 0 to 100 when he had every chance to walk away. He took a life and ruined his own. And that's the only thing that should be black and white here.
Okay. Well said. Well said. Y'all, now this is a clip that's like 20 something minutes long. I just want y'all to hear the very beginning of this because Joe has a really informative breakdown of the whole self-defense. As he says, mistake. Okay. And why he's just giving us a little rundown. And I take it from Judge Joe because, he was a judge. So he kind of knows the pointers, the ins and outs of what possibly could happen. I mean, we really don't know until the actual trial starts and everything, but it's just giving you an insight of what can really take place. And this is coming straight from the real Dana, y'all. She has him on her channel. And so we're going to get in. It says the shocking truth about Karmelo Anthony's self-defense mistake. With that being said, y'all, I'm not going to play this whole clip. If you want to see it, you can definitely go to her channel to watch the full clip with it. The real Dana. That's TheRealdana, y'all. All right, so let's get into it. I'm gonna play a little bit of this clip and then we're gonna chop it up in the comment section. Let's get into it.
I want to give a quick backstory of it, and actually let me share this picture here. Guess I'll go like that. Yeah. All right. So
why'd they release this picture of the juvenile or even give his name?
Because in Texas, 17 is considered adult if you're charged.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So oh, was that it? Was that it? No.
Can I make a quick summation?
Yeah.
All right. The way the defense might lay this out is, okay, he comes into the tent, he finds his property being taken, he gets it back, and they try to take it again from him. That's a robbery. In other words, the taking of the property of another by use of force or violence. He resisted the robbery, which is a felony, and that would morph the whole thing to killing into a felony murder situation. If you have a felony murder thing, the people who implemented the underlying felony become responsible for the consequences. For instance, if there is a proprietor, a manager, or an employee in a liquor store, and some people come in to hold up the liquor store, and there's a shootout, and one of the bullets fired by the proprietor, the manager, or an employee miscarries and kills an innocent person on the sidewalk. Well, under the felony murder thing, the employee, manager, or whatever is not charged with the homicide. The people who are charged with the homicide are the ones that started the robbery. So in this case, you have a party that starts a robbery. Two, allegedly, you have a killing that results by the would-be victim of the robbery. So what happens is, under the felony murder theory, the person that's charged with the homicide and the robbery is the survivor. In this case, one of the would-be, should-be co-defendants to the robbery, if that's the way the case is cast. The whole thing about the $1 million bond is absolutely ridiculous, because under the Fifth Amendment, bonds shall be reasonable, and reasonable has been interpreted for the last 230 years by the U.S. Supreme Court and most appellate courts as meaning simply enough to ensure that a person shows up until the charges are disposed of. No more, no less, but there is a trend that the liberal side has set up to punish people who are charged. And under American law, you're presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. An indictment or a charge is presumed under American law to be an accusation only, and a mistaken one. So there you go. What you have is a DA's office that seems to have relied upon some political pressure so that the elected DA is returned to his job, his stable job, which in today's market, when it comes to lawyers, is a rare thing, because few lawyers actually can earn a decent living when they practice law. Some do because they work for large firms, and large firms act on volume and reputation, even if they don't deliver a damn thing. So we have the games that are played with that.
Let me give a little bit of background here. So it said the incident happened 10 a.m. Wednesday, April 2nd, during a track meet at the Kukendall Stadium. The Frisco Police Department said an altercation between two students identified as McCaff and Anthony resulted in Anthony stabbing McCaff in the chest. Police said by the time officers arrived at the scene, McCaff was unconscious and not breathing.
Yeah.
So the athletic trainers there performed CPR. McCaff was transported to a hospital. He was pronounced dead. Witnesses told police that Austin McCaff and Karmelo Anthony did not know each other. One witness said they were with McCaff under their school tent during the track meet when someone they didn't know, identified as Anthony, came over to them. The witness said McCaff told Anthony to leave. Anthony allegedly grabbed his bag, opened it, and reached inside. Touch me and see what happens. A witness said McCaff touched Anthony, and another witness said McCaff grabbed Anthony. Police said that's when Anthony pulled out the knife, stabbed McCaff once in the chest, and ran away. And then once the arresting officer said, "I have the alleged suspect in custody," Anthony reportedly told the officer, "I'm not alleged. I did it." Anthony then said that McCaff put his hands on me after he asked him not to. After Anthony was placed inside the police vehicle, he asked an officer if McCaff was going to be okay and if what happened could be considered self-defense. Now, attorneys, Anthony...
Stop right there a second. He went wrong. He ran his mouth off too much. He had the witnesses going for him. But if he did that, then what happens is he just quasi removed his defense, because self-defense says you can't escalate the force used unless there is disparate strength between the person who is attacked and the person who is the attacker. In other words, a little old lady could potentially use some deadly force to stop a real strong young guy from doing her in. But two young, strong guys are not supposed to escalate physical force where it is of non-lethal violence into using a weapon and becoming lethal violence. So he shot his mouth off. He was doing good, and then he opened his mouth. So now he gave them some cause to say, okay, this is a homicide where the situation was escalated. He's an athlete. Why didn't he just respond with physical force? And if the assailant escalated it beyond what was an exchange of physical force, unarmed physical force, then he could escalate to match it.
So you saying that?
In other words, two guys are having a fist fight, and one of them pulls out a gun and shoots the other. That's going to be a murder case because the violence got escalated to another level that was uncalled for.
Mm-hmm.
If one guy pulls out a gun, the other guy pulls out a gun and shoots him, fine. If it's a felony murder, like I was describing, okay. But he ran his mouth off and said, I did it, and he got me scared because he went in. That's not an excuse.
He shouldn't have said nothing, but again,
kept his mouth shut. So
can that be used against him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it can. Anything you say can and may be used in evidence against you. The Fifth Amendment. You have a right to remain silent. You have a right to consult with an attorney. You have no obligation to make a statement, but if you do, anything you say can and may be used against you.
Well,
how many times?
Okay, y'all. So I'm gonna stop it right there. Again, if y'all want to go watch this full clip, you can, because it's like 21 minutes and 17 seconds long. You can definitely follow the real Dana, y'all. She has the full clip up. And again, as you can see, and this is Mr. Brown just telling his insight on it, him being a judge and actually having years and experience in this and tuning into what has taken place. We just got to sit and watch this trial and just, see where it goes. Again, these are two very young individuals. I do not see no color, because that's what it's coming to be about: race, black versus white, white versus black. And I just dislike that, because at the end of the day, we have two young individuals who both made wrong decisions, but the other one did not have to lose his life. Again, I'm going to let the investigators investigate on here, because you have, like I said, you have the internet investigators. You got so many people just tainting this case by them saying their opinions or what they thought happened or what should have happened, this, that, and the other. There are more witnesses that are coming forth, but they're not dropping those names. So again, you just got to sit back and let the situation unravel, y'all. Because when too many people are talking about it and don't know the actual facts or don't know what actually, took place, the case becomes tainted a lot. But, you listen to this and you're having this and you're hearing this and you're hearing that. And then it becomes to a point where, okay, well, what is the truth? What is, again, as you can see in the report, they don't know each other. But you got people out there saying they did. It was an altercation that was happening way before this. And it's like, okay, where's the truth at? You know what I'm saying? So let the investigators investigate. I just wanted to touch on this because I got a son around that age, and, I see a lot of people pinpointing the parents. So, in this, that, and the other. And it's just like, yo, it's a sad situation all the way around. Let's chop it up in the comment section, y'all. Let's be very respectful, because this is a very, touchy situation or whatnot. So please just be very respectful in the comment sections. You can, state your opinions and how you feel about the situation. I just don't like the fact that it's a race card being played in here, and it's two very young individuals that, and I just wanted to be able to let the investigators continue to investigate and question the witnesses, people who were there, and let's just wait it out and see, where this goes. And I just don't like how the video I showed you, black people are stating that he deserved to get that. No one deserves to get their life taken. No one deserves to get their life taken.